I think that means we're on air.
We're on the air. We're live to the world. Hi, Shane.
Hey, how are you?
Fair to middling.
I'm Shane. Here with Ben Jones, Natalie Price.
Hi.
Did I say that right?
Sexy
Hello.
Shane, as we call him.
This is where this is going, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Did you know you were playing with him today? Was it like a surprise? How did he get on this gig anyways?
How did he bully his way in here?
It's a very long answer. I showed up and he was just here.
I have
He's like
photographs of her in a manner of her giving cash for questions in Congress. So,
like, where is this going?
So it's all right. I wouldn't say anything like that. So I was able
Well.
to blackmail her to put me on shows that she was on.
This is why I don't
Compromising
mind Ben being up here,
photographs.
so I can just sit here and he can talk.
Compromising photographs.
So I usually start these interviews off by talking about the artist and the history, and you've been around, but you've never been on. You've been here with them.
Right.
You drove them here, but you've never played.
That's true.
Before. So it's your first night.
It is.
Well, we enjoyed it.
I did too.
You
It
were
was
great.
really fun. Y'all were really great. Yeah.
We need to do it again.
I'm down.
More you, less Ben, though.
Yeah, I hear that a lot.
You can play guitar. You're pretty good at that.
I'm a little less
You
nervous
can-
with silence,
You can set the merch up.
You can say yes.
so I don't fill in as much silence.
Hey, I'm not even allowed to set the merch up. Andrea chastises me for it. She's like, it doesn't go like that. She's like, you go over there. Leave it to me.
You set your own merch up today.
She has it's because I brought 4 CDs and 2 hats.
Oh,
It's pretty hard to get that wrong.
There are only two hats left. by the
Only
way.
2 hats left.
you got to have confidence
two
to
that I
put a
brought.
picture of your face on your own hat.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
You notice well, that's not true. I was going to say my face is not on anything. It's on the album, but yeah, I'm afraid to put it on a shirt or a button or whatever.
well, I had to put my face. I couldn't put her face on it, could I? I mean, it would probably sell more if I put her face
That
on
would be a
it,
little
but it's,
confusing.
but her name's not Ben
Bones.
Jones, so
All right, we're going to get into these questions before we hit midnight.
tried to put your face on it, but I couldn't get the license. They were like, no, you can't afford it. He's too damn handsome.
Yeah, thank you. $5.
It's true.
$5. All right. Can I move on?
You can continue.
Yeah, this is why I don't like doing this. So, what was
I love it. I love it. The more uncomfortable you are, the more I enjoy it.
This is why you should always bring Ben Jones to a party.
Yeah. Honestly, the more uncomfortable you get, the more buttons I'm going to start unbuttoning.
Maybe that's what people came here for, man.
Oh, trust me, they didn't.
Like, oh,
Trust me, they didn't.
Ben is on the lineup. I know what's going to happen.
I'll be auditioning for one of those movies where someone's been on hunger strike. So I take my shirt off, you know what I'm saying? They'll go, oh, yes, I think he's perfect for that part.
Oh, one of those guys, like, they lose all the weight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That or like a Holocaust movie.
Okay, we're going to move on.
Yeah,
now.
this is getting real dark real
let's
fast.
move on. So what was the first record you purchased with your own hard-earned cash? His was Doris Day.
Like cash or like pretend money? Like
Well, I mean, the first, yeah.
You know
Okay.
that's called stealing
No,
if
no,
you
no,
don't
no.
actually
What
pay
did
real
you
money.
no, we're going back to like my childhood. My first time to possess a CD
Yes.
Right.
was at a church when they
Mm.
gave you fake money to go to
Oh.
the fake store. Like, they called them shares.
They
You
take the
spend your
real money in
shares.
the brass plate.
So
though,
guess
don't they?
what my first CDs were if I'm buying them at a church?
Like-
Amy Grant.
Close, Michael W. Smith, and then a compilation album called WWJD.
What would God do?
Yes, close enough. So
J though, not G.
I mean, no disrespect. Like, I mean, the whole faith and belief thing is great, but the music doesn't normally reflect it, does it? So the fact that you write such great songs, that in itself is a miracle.
Thank you. I think.
Yeah.
Trying to decide if that was also an insult wrapped
No,
up in there.
we've had this conversation,
I
haven't
know.
you? Like worship music, other than like hymns and the psalms, they're great, and like all the old stuff, like Amazing Grace. Arguably, Amazing Grace
I
might
think-
be the greatest song
it
ever
might
written.
be the greatest song ever written.
But modern day I Love God music sucks.
There is one song off that album though that I really liked.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What was it called?
2 Sets of Joneses.
There you go, that's why, 'cause it had my name in it. Two
But,
sets.
I didn't even plan that, but that is
Joneses.
the title, the actual
Yeah,
title.
there you go.
it's
I can
maybe
believe
by
it.
Big Tent Revival. If there's anybody into Christian music from the 90s.
No, I believe everybody here likes music.
Have you ever had anyone answer those
No, I'm
two
just gonna
titles?
ask. I'm gonna ask the questions. I'm just gonna let Ben take over. This is perfect.
Okay, great.
This is the best interview I've ever done so far.
Christian rock. Isn't that like an oxymoron?
I didn't say Christian rock.
No, but Christian rock's an oxymoron, isn't it?
That has nothing to do with the question.
Ben, are you done?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. First concert.
First concert, a Christian concert. Went to see Avalon. I was in 6th grade.
Okay.
And I went with my friend's family, and I had no idea what I was getting into. I got a headache. I had my ears covered because I didn't know why I was hurting in pain. And I think we found like paper towels to stuff in my ears. It just turns out that really loud sounds hurt my
I thought it was
ears
you were
in my
going to
head.
say like that.
So that's why you became.
Avalon was
That's
so
why
bad.
she became a folk musician.
It was so bad that their songs were so. Is that what it was? So the songs were so bad.
I
It
don't
was
know.
so
Avalon.
loud. That was definitely what was happening.
I don't know
Now, if
anything
it had
about
been
it.
No comment on
Hey,
everything else.
but had it have been Frankie Avalon, it would have been a different story. He was great.
I can go on.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. I can see the questions there.
Who was the first artist you put on a pedestal? Ben, you can answer this. This was a newer one, so you can answer
Oh, yeah,
that
that's
one
a
too.
new one, yeah. Go on.
I mean, it would have been as a kid, and it was probably like Amy Grant or Michael W. Smith.
Okay. Wow.
Mine would have been the Beatles.
I never met them, so I never found out if they were like cool people or like
You
terrible
probably don't
people.
ever want to meet him.
I saw her perform once
Well, I
a
don't know.
couple
I mean,
years ago with
I
Vince
met
Gill.
you and you weren't a disappointment.
Give it time. Just give it time, my friend.
Give it
Give
time.
it time.
No, the Beatles for me.
Yeah.
Dun-dun-dun.
Yeah.
It's actually an Amy Grant song.
Paul McCartney, the Beatles.
Okay. So going into that,
And they've never been disappointing. You know, I mean, they can stay on that pedestal because they're never going to disappoint.
well, half of them are dead, so
Half of them are dead. This is true.
that's. I guess they can't unless they haunt you in your
Yeah.
dreams. So they come to you. Austin comes to you. Some commissioner. I don't know. The commissioner of Austin. And they come to y'all and say, "We need a."
Is this like a Batman movie?
It's like a Batman
Commissioner-
movie. They're gonna put
Commissioner
this.
Gordon.
They're gonna put the
A musical note in the sky.
Mount Rushmore of Austin musicians on the Frost Bank right
Ooh,
there.
That's a good one.
And they get y'all two are commissioned to pick 4 people, and we can include a band because everybody's been picking bands, so that's fine
cool.
too.
That's a good question.
So what are we? Who are you?
Are they alive or dead?
What? No, they're
Doesn't
whatever.
Doesn't matter.
What does it matter?
So you're saying who
Kind of have been
we
associated
want
with.
to put on the side of a building?
Yes. If
Well,
somebody's
who
driving
would
into
be on
Austin,
your Mount
who
Rushmore
represents
of Austin music?
Austin musicians?
I mean, me, obviously.
Yeah, I guess I'd have to say Ben Jones.
Would it be when I had the long hair and the beard, though? I'd like it to be then, when I look
Yeah,
like a
whatever's
serial
happening
killer.
now is. I'm just kidding.
No, who would really be on it?
Andrea McGee.
She'd have to take up all 4 spots. That is a good question, though. Did you
Yeah,
come
I'm
up
kind
with
of
that
stumped
That's
actually.
amazing, isn't it?
one? You come up with that one?
I did.
That's a good question.
Thank you.
I don't know in which way to answer this. Is it the people that I think are the most iconic?
It's
or
yours.
my
yours.
favorites?
It's
'Cause that's
your-
really like it feels like I can't say that. out
It doesn't
loud.
matter. They could roll in to be like, who are those 4 people? It's your wall. But y'all can do it together, or you can do it separate.
Oh, I can do it. I know what I would put on there.
Or just who I think that they would choose.
No, it's
no,
yours.
Who you want?
You go first.
I'd put Willis Allen Ramsey on there.
Okay. Little Muskrat Love.
Yeah.
He
hell
played
yeah.
here several times.
That album, I still think if you're going to only make one album, it's a pretty perfect
It
album.
is. It is a pretty perfect.
You know what I mean?
album.
It's like,
There's a lot of artists that should have only made one album.
yeah.
So kudos to him.
That made me hell. I mean, everyone should just make what they want. But he's got such great songs that he still hasn't released because he's tinkered for so long on the second album. But he's got a great response to it when anyone ever says to him, "When are you going to make a second album?" And he just says, "What's wrong with the first one?" I mean, what a great line. And the very fact that like every song on that album except one of them has been recorded multiple times by other people.
Right.
You know, it's like they're great songs. So Willis Allen Ramsey,
Okay.
because like everyone who owned that album as a musician went off and started writing songs from
Right.
it. You know, like as in Butch Hancock.
Oh yeah. Also plays here. So.
Yeah, and again, Butch just such great songs and a great person.
He's kind of from Lubbock though.
He is, but what I mean is, I mean, if we're going to split hairs about it, it's like
Well,
Willis Allen
say-
Ramsey's from like fucking Arizona or
Well,
something.
I know I did say Austin, but you know.
Yeah, but they,
Lubbock's 7 hours away.
yeah, but they established themselves in that because that case we couldn't put Willie on it, could we? Because Willie is from down the road. What's the name of that place?
He's from. Yeah, it is within a.
Abbott,
Texas.
Willie's from Abbott. That's right.
But you know he wrote "Crazy" driving through traffic in Houston.
It's pretty great, isn't it?
Yeah. So we just make it Texas then. How about you, Texas?
Yeah, that's good.
So you've got Willis Allen Ramsey.
Willis Allen Ramsey.
Butch Hancock.
Willie would be too obvious. I think Willie needs his own, just Willie on his own. So Willie doesn't come into this.
It's kind of.
But
Morris.
what?
Nothing.
Look,
It's your wall.
it's right. It's my frost building.
It's
All
your
right.
wall. It's your frost building.
Willis. So Willis, Butch. You want to say a couple now? Because I'll think of my other couple.
I was trying to think of people that I think would maybe represent Austin, but maybe you've never heard of.
Well, that's kind of what he's doing.
I don't know.
So I was gonna say
like.
like maybe current people.
I mean, no, I mean but then he's really celebrated. He's got a statue, isn't he? He's got a statue in Austin. So
He'd be on mine.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean he's amazing. Well, he was amazing, but no.
I don't know. I was gonna say like Eric Tessmer, Aubrey Hayes, like people that are
Well, these are
current-
current people. That's good.
current that like
Yeah.
maybe you know of, maybe you don't, but kind of like Eric's in the rock, the blues rock, and Aubrey's in like the dark pop.
Dark pop. It's
No-
the opposite
no-
to light pop.
No Gary Clark Jr.
Yeah. I know his dad, Gary Clark. I don't know his dad, Gary Clark, but I just think it's quite funny. Gary Clark Sr.
No, I got the joke, man. I'm sorry I didn't laugh, but I got it.
I know his dad.
So do y'all gonna do
He's
two
a plumber.
apiece? Because I don't think we're ever gonna get through this.
Yeah, all right, so I've got Willis and I've got Butch Hancock. Well,
Eric Tesmer.
she's got Eric
Eric Tessmer
Tesmer.
and Aubrey Hayes.
And she's
Yeah,
got
Aubrey
Four,
Hayes.
so
Yeah, but we got 4 each.
you're cut off. Nope.
Yeah, no, there's got
Four
to have
total.
more. I'd have to say Guy Clark
Okay.
and who? No, not Blaze. No, Blaze is great.
Rocky
but-
Erickson.
Who? Rocky Erickson? I mean, yeah, that would be a very good one, Rocky Erickson. Yeah. And I got to see him before he died a couple of times as well. But then, if I had to pick a band, it'd be like the Los Gonzo band. Because, there's too many great people.
Well, there is, but
This
that's
is more of a Ben question than Natalie questions.
apparently.
No,
It has been more
because
Ben
yours were
interviews
good,
than
because
an
yours are
interview.
current. I am like an old man stuck in a slightly younger man's body. I wear old man's clothes. I borrowed them off you.
I'm just waiting for him to finish. I don't even know what to do anymore.
Go on then. Next
All
question.
right, next question.
Next
I've already asked you
question.
this one. So, did you ever have a moment in your life, like an aha moment, where you heard something, saw something, read something that inspired you to do what you're doing for a living, or was it kind of just always there?
It was kind of a series of moments, and one of them was maybe in 2013. It had been a long time dream, but I didn't really feel like I had permission, didn't really feel like I could do it. I didn't really believe in myself and didn't know if it was like a real enough thing. Because I come from a family of non-musicians where the idea of a musician sounds like fake. It sounds like a game, not real life. And so I ended up at this artist conference in the middle of nowhere, Texas, near Mahia, where Cindy Walker was born.
Oh, there's somebody else was born there too.
And
Not me. I know you were looking at me.
Can't remember her name. Or go ahead.
and I met other artists of different genres. I met painters, I met photographers, filmmakers, I met museum curators, I met lots of musicians. And these were people who were professional artists, and I was wowed by all of them. And different people gave presentations, and I realized, oh, no, this is a real thing that real people do, and it's worth doing, and it's worth doing it well. And so pretty much 2013 was a pretty big turning point in that sense of inspiration and coming kind of into myself and believing in that this is a real thing and it's worth going for.
Okay, nice.
When I met you, that's what made me realise I was like...
When I met you?
Yeah, when I met you.
When you met me?
That was the real influence. That was the...
I've influenced a lot of singer-songwriters.
Yeah, all of it.
Not really.
No, for me it was... I think when I first heard Bob Dylan, because up until that point, because I'm a little bit older than you, it's that, all the music that was coming out in England during my sort of teens, early, what's that pre-teen moment, like before you in between kind of time. You're not quite a teenager, you're not quite a kid anymore. It's like...
You mean like 12?
Yeah, well, 10, 11, 12.
There's a number for that.
Early aughts.
You are not just a pretty face, are you?
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
It's all right. It was that look you gave me. I was like, whoa, it's intense. No, it was that point where the music scene was all just full up with like crappy kind of pop dance music, and not even like good pop, because I love great pop music. I think there's great songs in everywhere. Britney Spears has got great songs. Toxic is a great song.
Yeah, it is.
But
it's a good video too.
I haven't seen the video. I'm sure you have.
Yeah.
But it was that when I heard Bob Dylan, and I was like, oh wow, this. And then Oasis came around, and it was that whole throwback kind of thing. The guitar became cool again, and I thought, oh yeah, I mean, I'm never going to be cool, but I don't have to be like a geek
cool.
anymore. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
You got a poster of me on your wall.
I think you're cool. I don't, but I still want to.
Yeah. But no, that was it for me. I was like, oh yeah, and I grew up on a really small island, so kind of a bit like Nat. It's like you have those moments where she grew up in a non-musical family. I kind of grew up on a very small island where there wasn't no one else wanted to be a musician who I was growing up with. They all wanted to be like video game designers or bigamists. They wanted to get married multiple times to different people, not get divorced. So I didn't really fit into
Well, I'm
that.
glad you made it out as the musician.
Oh, I got into bigamy as well. I got 3 wives back there, but it's all right.
So there's a big important question tonight. What are we? I used to call it quarantine watching, but we're not in quarantine anymore. What are we Netflixing, Huluing?
What are we watching right
now? Yeah, what are you watching
Well, you
right now?
just finished a good one, didn't you?
I just finished Dope Sick
Oh,
on Hulu with Michael Keaton.
yeah, I've heard about that one.
It's dope.
Several people have talked
And
about
it's
it.
sick. It's
No,
dope and it's sick.
No, I got it. I haven't
Yeah.
seen it, but I've heard it's good.
Yeah.
We were
Well,
talking about it on the way up here, weren't we?
It took me a while to get into it. I watched part of one episode, and I was like, I don't think I can watch this. Just because it's, based on reality around the fentanyl
Yeah, fentanyl thing's crazy.
It just got dark, didn't it?
in the Appalachians.
Yeah.
It just... But finally, I decided, you know what? I need something to watch, and
Why shouldn't it be something
also
depressing
I'm
about
trying to get
opioid
10,000
addiction.
steps in every day, and I needed something to watch while I paced around the living room. So in the last couple of weeks, I've watched the whole season.
Okay.
I watched The
It's
Old
great.
Man, the new Jeff Bridges thing. That was great.
Yeah.
There's a new series about Mike Tyson that's just come on Hulu.
Yeah.
That's by the same people who did I, Tonya, so it's done in that same kind of style, like talking to the camera type of thing. That was good. I watched a couple of conspiracy theory documentaries on Princess Diana.
I could see that. I
Yeah.
can see that being your style.
Because, who
I
doesn't
just-
love a good conspiracy?
I just started that Sandman. I've been watching the Sandman. The Neil Gaiman.
Oh, yeah, right. Okay,
It's
yeah.
pretty good.
I haven't watched that yet, but I will do. It's on my list.
It's good.
I got a list of things, though, and it just keeps growing, and I'm like, oh, yeah, but I'm not in the mood for that right now. So I'll just put it on the list, and then each time I peruse the list, I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm not quite there yet, not quite there.
I'm also
I know I want to watch it, but not quite there.
I've also been watching X-Files for the first time.
Oh,
The truth
yeah.
is out there.
Because I wasn't allowed to when I was a kid. And then I just never went back to it. It was never on any
Do you know how it ends?
channel until Hulu. What?
Do you know how it ends? Would you like me to tell you?
Don't tell me. Please don't.
It's all a dream.
I don't.
It's all a dream. They both died.
Do you know what I want to know? Do
I
you know
mean,
what I
y'all
want to know?
do. What?
Who shot JR?
Sue Ellen. Oh shit! Were you watching that?
But then Bobby didn't die, did he? It was
No,
all a
it
dream.
was all a dream.
How the hell did they get away
How
with
did
that?
you? How the hell did you watch Doubtless?
Because, I grew up in the 80s with a mother who watched soaps all the time.
Yeah.
It's amazing that I ever
Falcon's Crest.
was able to, work my way up to the next sort of stuff, long form movies or something. Because it was always, in our house, it was Coronation Street, EastEnders, which is all about people who live in the East End of London. All right, mate. Coronation Street, people who live in the north. Emmerdale Farm,
We didn't have any of those.
there are people who live in the Midlands. Brookside, people who live in Liverpool. And it was always harrowing stories. And everyone was just addicted to it. And I'm not sure whether or not it's because there was a reflection in their own life or it just made them feel better about their own life. They were like, oh, well, at least I didn't shoot JR.
That's what you aspire.
You
How
know?
did we even get there?
At least I didn't shoot JR.
This has gone off the rails. We're gonna do these either ors. The caveat is I'm gonna give you two people.
Okay.
You tell me your preference. Just because you say you
Okay.
like one does not mean you dislike the other.
All right.
Seen them all already.
It's
I've seen
totally
them all.
up to you. And then we got Ben here to mediate, apparently. So the
I've
first one's
made
Beatles
my
or Stones.
mind up.
Beatles.
Beatles. You're Beatles.
Beatles.
Dolly or Aretha?
Dolly.
Dolly.
Elvis-
Aretha was amazing, though.
She was.
Dolly.
You don't have to apologize. Elvis is Sinatra.
Elvis.
Ooh, I mean, that's a bit of a tie for me. But if you held my arm up my back or something, I'd probably say Elvis, but I probably should say Sinatra because Sinatra was more connected to the organised crime. And if you don't say Sinatra, you probably have you whacked.
So is any question anybody ever asked you, is there like an internal war inside your
Yeah.
brain before you answer it?
Honestly, I know you think you want to be me, but you don't.
I never thought I wanted to be you. Willie or Johnny?
Johnny.
Johnny.
Willie.
Willie. Michael Jackson or Prince?
Michael Jackson.
Prince.
I'm Michael Jackson team. Lady Gaga
Yeah. Did
or
you
Madonna?
ever get
Lady
invited over
Gaga.
to Neverland? Did you?
No,
Or were you too old by that point?
Something was about to fall out of my mouth that would have just... I
old.
moonwalked down to my fifth grade hallway.
You Michael Jackson? Do you ever talk to the man
I
in
don't
the mirror?
think he did it.
If you really do talk to the man in the mirror, you probably need to seek
Prince
psychological help.
Prince was a real Prince too, by the way.
He was amazing. I saw him
Musically,
twice. Music, all the ways. He was amazing.
Lady Gaga or Madonna?
I said Lady Gaga.
Madonna. There would be no Lady Gaga without Madonna.
Exactly. Metallica or Sabbath?
Metallica.
Sabbath.
Oh, you are losing this in my brain.
What, you'd go with Metallica?
Yes.
There'd be no Metallica without Sabbath, though.
There wouldn't be, but
So there you
Metallica
go.
has passed.
That's like saying, would you choose the chicken or the egg? Well, you've got to choose the egg, because without the egg...
It's not that the other one's bad. Just which one do you prefer?
Look,
I
there's a
did tell
right
him-
answer
I did
and a
kinda
wrong
tell him he was
answer.
wrong.
Okay? You're picking the wrong answers.
Billie Eilish or Adele?
Maybe Billie Eilish. That's a hard one.
I don't know either of those people. No, I'm joking. I do. I know Adele. I know two of Billie Eilish's songs, and she seems brilliant. So Adele.
Oh, there is no wrong answer on that one. Everybody hates me for this one. John Prine or Bob Dylan?
I mean, for principle, you'd have
Probably
to pick
Dylan.
John Prine, but for they say something to you when you're young. They say and you'll appreciate this. I mean, you've been old a long time, but they say that if you're not a socialist when you're 18, you've got no heart. But if you're still a socialist by the time you get to 25, you've got no brain. I don't necessarily subscribe to that because I think everyone should, care about people. But I think that if you still think that Bob Dylan is as real as John Prine, the more music that you listen to, you're obviously deluding yourself. Because I love Bob Dylan, but he is a construct, whereas John Prine is the real deal.
I'm not sure how you answered that question.
Mic drop. Well, I can answer it for you. Because,
Can you?
yeah, I can totally answer it for you. Because John Prine John Prine was always just John Prine. There was no
Okay.
there was none of this putting a barrier between him and his audience, and even a barrier between him and his band. It was like he was personable, he was approachable, he was accessible, and all of those songs were real. Whereas Bob Dylan, he's like an actor. He adopts a character all the time. There is no such thing as Bob Dylan doesn't really exist.
So you're saying you like John Prine better?
I'm saying that I love Bob Dylan, but that John Prine's more real.
So he's basically refusing to answer the question.
You're politicking me here, right?
I'm just choosing Dylan.
I see what you're doing.
You gotta. It's a vote. You don't have to answer.
I see what you're doing.
I'm done with you. Did you say one? I forgot.
Dylan.
Dylan, thank you. So I got one more, but this one's for you since it's actually your interview. Andrea McGee or Ben Jones?
You had no idea. Between me and Ben Jones.
No, Andrea McGee or Ben Jones?
Andrea McGee and Ben Jones.
She won't be watching, so you can be honest.
I probably actually would pick Ben Jones.
Yeah, in your face!
I didn't say it was the wrong answer. I wouldn't.
You wanted her to pick Andrea.
No,
You
I
wanted her to
didn't.
pick Andrea, and she didn't.
I didn't want. No, it's not true.
No, you wanted her to. You wanted to embarrass me, but it didn't work, did it?
I don't think you. I don't think you've ever been embarrassed in your life. I mean,
When you look like
I
this,
mean,
you
I'm
can't,
embarrassed
you know?
for you.
It's
at times,
embarrassing
but
enough
I don't
to
think
be
you've
this
ever been
person.
embarrassed. But I'm gonna end this interview on that note. Thank you guys.
What's
for
that
sitting
could
down
be
with
any
me.
celebrity? If you could be any celebrity, which one would you be? Which one would you be, Shane?
Darth Vader. I don't know who I'd be.
I am your father.
Probably, actually, Chris Cornell.
Yeah?
Yep.
Not now,
Any-
though.
No, not now.
Any
Not
celebrity?
currently.
That's a bit dark, wasn't it?
I don't know who I'd be, really. I never
Who
really
would you
thought
be?
about it.
For 24 hours, if you could be any celebrity, who would it be?
I'm pretty fascinated by Taylor Swift.
Yeah, that's a
It'd be
good one.
Interesting, yeah.
We'll go on tour together.
That's a good one. I'd like, if it was like anyone at any time, yeah?
Yeah.
Howard Hughes.
Well, you know he's buried right over here.
Is he?
Yeah.
Is he, though?
You can crawl in there with him.
Yeah, but is he, though?
He is.
Is he, though?
Well, he's from.
Do we know whether it's really him, or did he not take injections of the blood of scared children and he's still alive somewhere? He's like 100-something years old now. His fingernails are as long as the street. His hair the same. It's very sad if you read about when he died. Very, very sad.
Oh,
Had,
I've
like
heard.
broken
He's like Mr. Burns from The
hypodermic needles
Simpsons.
in him and stuff like that. Yeah, very sad. He was a very interesting man.
See, would that be the last 24 hours of his life? You'd wanna
No,
live-
good Lord, no.
Can we finish? Can we end this now?
Oh,
do you
just
have,
getting into it though. It's good,
do
isn't
you
it?
have something
I haven't
else?
seen you for a while. How you doing?
I'm good.
Yeah, I like this. You're good at this. Good questions.
Yeah. I feel really good
You
right
really
now.
make me comfortable to just talk to you. You know.
When was the first time you interviewed someone?
I don't know. Like 2 years ago when COVID started.
Who was your first interview?
Oh my God. All right, guys. Thank you.
Who was your first interview?
I don't know.
Well, they probably remember.
Or there was.
Was it Pat Byrne?
No, it was Amy Evans in the 7th grade.
Oh yeah. What did
Yeah.
you ask her? Whether she wanted to go on a date? I mean, if 2 years ago you asked someone in the 7th grade if they wanted to go on a date, you probably should go to prison. But if she was when you were in 7th grade, what did you ask her?
I don't
You remember?
remember. No,
Well, you
I'm
remember
just-
that it was her. So
I'm just playing. I made it up. I just pulled out a name from
many
the
a
past.
true
I was trying
word
to be
spoken
funny.
in jest. Amy, hi, Shane. Would you like to go on a date? Tick yes or no.
Oh, you remember those?
I sent one of those.
I had
to
a
girl.
mixtape for her.
What did she say?
It had like
Mixtape.
it had
yeah.
like power ballads on it.
What did she say?
I sent two to hedge my bets. So one went to one girl and one went to the other. The one that I wanted to say yes did say yes, so good. The other one said yes and then reneged on the agreement when she found out that I'd already asked her friend.
Well, yeah, I'd imagine.
Hey, it's the numbers game, you know? When you got a face like this, you can't guarantee they're going to say yes.
You are a Nashville man.
Huh?
You are a Nashville man.
A Nashville band. The numbers. Number system. So, who's been your favourite interview?
Ignoring it.
You don't have to say this one. I know it is this one, but you don't have to.
I wouldn't say
Who's
any of them.
been your
They've all
favourite?
been wonderful. Everybody has been wonderful.
Who has surprised
all
you
been
the
amazing.
most?
I like that one.
Who surprised you the most out of, like, you know, when you think that you're going to know what they're going to be like, and then they haven't been.
I know everybody.
Yeah, but for example, like James McMurtry, he's a very quiet man.
Yeah,
he says a lot in all of his songs. So he's the sort of guy.
I've never interviewed James McMurtry.
No, I know that because he doesn't get interviewed.
Steve Poltz was one of my favorites.
I bet he was.
I
Yeah, I
love
bet he was
Steve.
really, really good. Such an animated fella.
He is very animated.
He likes you a lot as well. He told me.
Yeah, I like him a lot.
He said he's written several songs about you.
This is one of my least favorite interviews. I can say
Honestly,
that.
this is my favourite interview I've ever had.
What, ridicule Shane?
It's not ridicule.
You're
It's just Shane feels uncomfortable, so let's turn the lights up.
Magnify it a little
Yeah.
bit. Well,
You shouldn't feel. I think you're good at it. I really enjoy it, and I enjoy talking to you.
I'm dying inside.
And
Ben.
I think that we.
Thank you.
I think that we should get an apartment together.
Dying inside. I have a house. I'll
that.
rent you a room.
Love that. I love that dog of yours.
He's amazing.
Amazing.
Okay, can I end this now?
If you want.
Okay, I'm going to end it. Do you have anything else to say?
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Thanks for playing tonight. You
Thanks.
were amazing.
You were amazing. Yeah.
Teresa thought you were
Yeah.
amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was awesome.